All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a spiritual puzzle that is, well, it's incredibly common. It's this trap that so many of us, maybe even you, have fallen into. It's a paradox that almost feels like some kind of cosmic joke.
So, in this explainer, we're going to follow the story of a character we'll just call the Seeker. And, maybe just maybe, the Seeker is you. The whole story really kicks off with this one profound question. What if that thing you're chasing so hard, that peace you're striving for, what if it's already yours? Right here, right now.
Okay, so our story begins. Imagine this. You are the seeker, and you've been searching for years. I mean, you've tried everything. Then one day, you find it, an ancient, dusty book. And inside, you discover what looks like the ultimate spiritual shortcut. You read these words and whoosh, this massive wave of relief just washes over you. Can you imagine that feeling? It's incredible. The search, that exhausting, endless search, it's over. And it's over before it even really began. I mean, it feels like you've just been handed the keys to the kingdom, right? No more struggle, no more effort. You've just been told the treasure is already yours. And the best part, all you have to do is, well, absolutely nothing.
All right, so this is where our story gets interesting. You decide to claim your prize. You sit back, you stop all that striving, and you just wait. You wait to feel that amazing peace you were promised. But almost immediately, a really frustrating problem pops up. And this, right here, is the central conflict of our story.
So you're expecting this like instant, blissful calm to just descend upon you. But the reality? It's nothing. Crickets. It's just your same old restless mind, only now it's got this extra layer of frustration. You find yourself kind of checking your spiritual watch, Like, okay, any minute now. And this is the question that starts to haunt you, right? It just circles and circles in your mind, creating all this doubt and confusion. The book said I have it, so where is it? And it's this very question that reveals the true villain of our story. So check this out. What's really interesting here is that the obstacle was never the long journey. Nope. It was an internal trickster. It's that greedy part of our own mind, in some traditions they call it lobe, this deep-seated desire that wants the reward without putting in the work. It wants the prize for free, and man, it wants it now. Okay, so you're at the brink. You're just about to chuck that book across the room in frustration. And then the wisdom of a sage appears to explain what's gone wrong. And the sage points out this one crucial difference, a distinction that honestly changes everything. The sage basically says, look, you've mixed up two totally different things. You have information, that's just borrowed knowledge from a book, right? But what you don't have is knowing. And that's your own personal lived experience. Think of it this way. Reading the map is one thing. Actually walking the territory, that's something else entirely. And this quote just brilliantly nails the real purpose of these sacred teachings. The words themselves, they're not the treasure. No way. They're a tool. Kind of like a goldsmith's touchstone, the thing they use to see if gold is real. So here's how it works. Step one, you hear the wisdom. But, and this is key, you don't just blindly believe it, you hold on to it as a guide. Then, when your own personal experience of that truth finally happens, you use those words to recognize it. It's how you verify that, yep, what you found is the real deal, real gold. Okay, but wait a minute. This raises a huge question, doesn't it? If the treasure is already right where you are, then why is there a path at all? Why do we need to do anything? It's a great question. Well, to explain this, the sage tells another story. And I want you to really try and imagine this. Picture someone born blind. Their entire world, their whole concept of what's real, is built on sound and touch and smell. And they've adapted perfectly to living in that reality. Now imagine one day, poof, their eyes suddenly open. And we're not talking about just seeing a little bit of light. We're talking about being hit with a tidal wave of color and shapes and depth and movement. It's a whole new dimension of reality that they literally never even knew existed. So what do you think they feel in that moment? Some profound enlightenment? No way. It's just chaos. That explosion of sensory input is so overwhelming, so shocking, that they just can't make sense of any of it. They stumble around, they fall. They're literally blinded by the light, unable to actually see anything clearly. And that, right there, is the purpose of the path. See, the journey isn't to get to the light,
The light is already here, it's all around us. The journey is the training process. It's what slowly prepares your eyes to be able to handle that light. It's about exhausting all your efforts until you finally get it. That doing was never the point to begin with. And this brings us to the resolution of our story. So, after walking the path, after all the striving and the struggling and trying literally everything, the seeker finally just exhausts themselves. They give up. They surrender. And it's in that very moment of complete surrender that everything changes. In that quiet stillness, it finally clicks. You realize the truth. The treasure wasn't at the end of some long, winding road. It was buried right under your feet the entire time. The whole journey. It was just the act of digging. It was about clearing away all that dirt, all that greed and misunderstanding. So here's the crucial point, this beautiful, mind-bending paradox. You have to give 100%, you have to put everything on the line, only to finally arrive at the profound realization that none of that effort was ever actually needed in the first place. So the final instruction, the takeaway from all this, isn't to keep searching. It's something much simpler. As some sages might say, it's just this. Jago or bhogo. Wake up. Wake up to what is already here and just experience it fully. Live it. And so our story ends by leaving you with a question. And it's not about some far-off, distant goal. It's about the ground right beneath your feet. The treasure is already there. So the real question is, what dust are you standing on? What impatience, what borrowed ideas, what misunderstandings are keeping you from finally seeing it?